Previously on Drop It Like It's Scott.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Drop It Like It's Scott, your home for gun range, gun reviews, encouraging thoughts, and nasty guns. That's right, this is a high point. It's disgusting, yes. It doesn't even sound, it's like, I don't get it. It's like, listen, everything is shaking around in there.
I got nothing. Got any ideas?
Yeah, I mean, that lever action, but I'm still kind of practicing with it, so,
Yeah. Smells like Scott. You know what this means. What's up, guys? Jake with TN Tactical coming at you with a special gun review. Today we are looking at the High Point C9, brought to you in part by Scott at the YouTube channel Drop It Like It's Scott. If you haven't checked him out yet, please check out his channel, give him a like, subscribe. We highly appreciate it. We actually won this in a raffle a couple months back that he did, and he sent it out to us, and today we are actually going to fire our first shots through it and see how it does, give you our initial thoughts and what we really think about the High Point, and let you know if it really is the problem solver. I can't hit anything. I'm sure it will bring great value to the channel. Thank you again, Scott. Really appreciate it, brother.
well now, what was your first opinion? First shots.
I thought it felt okay. Felt like it's got a better trigger than the High Point 45 we shot a while back.
What about the magazine?
Magazine was fine. It holds like 8, I think. Something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got a nice custom paint job there from Scott. Appreciate that, sir. Really blends in with my shirt, as the gun does too. Gray shorts, gray gun, red shirt, red gun. I'm no longer the gray man though.
Oh, what are you, the salmon man?
I'm the gray and red man, or is that racist and not politically correct? I'm the problem solver.
Yeah, I like that.
Starting Kiefer Sutherland and his
Okay.
High Point 9C, C9, whatever. High Point C9. You already know what you're getting into when you get one of these. They're very cheap, very base with their manufacturing standards. Is that the right word? Basic, if you will. You'll see here that this one has received a particular nice custom paint job from Scott over at Drop It Like It's Scott. We really appreciate that, sir.
Quality Cerakote here.
My favorite part about this paint job is the fact that it does cover each side of the magazine as well. And we are unloaded here. If you can see, it's a little hard to tell at this point. He even went to the trouble of putting some Rust-Oleum paint on the feeding ramp. I really appreciate that, sir. That goes above and beyond the standard of what you normally get with a typical Cerakote job. High Point C9, C for compact, 9 for 9mm. Feels good in the hand. Feels like a typical High Point. You've got your molded hand grip there that seems to fit most particular hands. And just the overall quality is exactly what you would expect for a High Point. A couple of cute things to point out here is you've got a nice fluorescent orange front sight, as well as a very tactical ghost ring rear sight. And based on our first shots, we found it to be very inaccurate. Very much so. However, we did not zero this rear sight like you can here. If you see a screw there, you'll notice that it actually will push down. So you tighten that screw, that little flathead up there, and it will actually push this down, or you can loosen it to raise it. And there's also the windage screw right here that will allow this to move left and right, which, as you can see, it kind of already does. It is kind of like a rubbery plastic, so very tactical of them. Very nice, High Point, appreciate it. You'll notice you've got some slide cuts here because they are absolutely necessary to have, because this right here, my friends, this is not any kind of like slide release. You put your last round in and you fire, yeah, it logs back, okay? That is not the slide release. You have to do it the most primitive way, which is, of course, just pulling on these serrations, and then you're good to go again. Now, obviously, we're not loaded here, but that's the only way you'll be able to lock that slide back forward there. Not a whole lot to say about it. It's a heavy brick. You know, people like to joke about Glocks being kind of like blocky. Well, this definitely is the king of blockiness. You don't have any kind of railing here. It's putting kind of like light or laser, so you can't be too tactical with it. In addition, the front sight is literally just injection molded, along with the rest of the slide appearing to just be injection molded. Of course, with these cheaper manufacturing standards, you're going to have less customization options.
Maybe they make those slides in the same plant that they make die-cast Hot Wheels cars.
I can believe that. Rear sight, like I said, plastic rear, can be easily replaceable, or you can just break it off, and because it's really not that accurate anyways. It doesn't use a Browning tilting action like you see with most barrels today, like for Glocks and SIGs and whatnot. It just goes straight below back there. Now that actually kind of helps in its favor with reliability, because it's just a simplified version of cycling. It actually has less reliability issues than what you might see with other handguns. But that's okay, because this is the problem solver. This is meant to be picked up at a excellent discounted cheap price at your local gun shop. If you absolutely need protection, this is definitely the option for you. There is a movie I think called The Problem Solver, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
What's the
I can't remember. I think it was actually part of the recommendations after I watched The Gray Man.
Well, they should remake it, and they should remake it with me. You know, Jake Tactical as Kiefer Sutherland and The Problem Solver 2023. Dumping it. 3,
Do it.
2, 1. I got one. So High Point are true innovators in the firearms industry, specifically with this C9 that we have here. You see, they really thought ahead when they created their recoil system for the firearm. Let me demonstrate. So we've got our 8-round mag here, and you'll see that there is nothing in the chamber. If you can get that there, it's empty. Yep. Let's say you find yourself in the heat of battle. You've taken a shot in your offhand, and suddenly you find yourself needing to reload. You've only got your one hand. High Point's got you covered. You ready? It's actually been pretty dang reliable, despite the weight and imbalance and the heft of it and the low round count. It's not that bad.
It's called being a coal miner's daughter and being generationally poor.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, so let's talk about the trigger pull real quick. Now, just so you know, there is a safety feature built into where you actually cannot pull the trigger unless you have a magazine in. With that being said, you also can't rack the slide back forward if there's a magazine in. So it'll take a little bit of finagling to simulate the trigger pull. Get some of that wobble action there. So you'll see it's kind of wobbly, right? If you pull on it, very thick, keeps going forward, and then releases. Feels real chunky, really chunky. I'll estimate roughly about somewhere between 6 to 8 pounds, roughly, give or take. Now, I don't have the micrometer thing out here to measure that.
Yeah,
now,
we'll get that.
We gotta reset the trigger. Okay, and then we're gonna pull again, like so, very chunky. I'm gonna try to do the trigger reset for you. Okay. So we're going to reset. Feels loose. I even reset and didn't realize it.
Really?
So,
I didn't hear that or see it.
Yeah, I actually reset the trigger and couldn't even tell. It was such a light reset. So as far as the trigger pull goes, it's actually not that bad. It's High Point. It's blocky. It feels like a thick boy. It's because it is a thick boy. But the trigger pull and reset, it's not that bad. Let's put another 8 rounds in this mag, because that's all this mag can hold. You'll notice so far we've not really shot too accurately on the steel. Let's try that paper about 10 yards away or so, and just kind of see where this this firearm lines up, because if you notice, we've got an awesome ghost ring rear sight here. So very nice, and a painted front sight. fluorescent orange, I think. I'm kind of jumping around here a little bit.
Heathen. You smoked meth again, didn't you?
What do you think? Moped dirt bike. Him. He's literally like a 10-year-old going up and down the street with it. There he goes. Loud as
Gosh, I hate it when people are loud in my neighborhood. I hate it when people make sudden loud noises in my neighborhood.
Me too. Me too. I do need to see how this actually shoots on paper.
Yeah, I mean, is it time to actually try now?
We're going to actually try now.
Oh, we're
okay?
trying.
Look, everybody, we're trying.
We're going to use our patented trademarked High Point C9 reloading technique here. You got this?
Yeah.
Yep. So this ghost ring is kind of throwing me off. So.
Ghost ring, ghost ring.
Whoa. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, the trigger.
Oh.
I flinched there. Not very tactical, was it? I don't know where that one went. I will say this, two things I really like about this handgun. Number one, you're at least hitting the center of mass of that silhouette target, and this is roughly about 30 feet, maybe 20 feet. It's hard to tell.
You know, our little range here it sort of throws off on distance, weird looking. From this distance, I think you're gonna have a hard time defending anything other than that. You know, like any further out, it's gonna be a problem in your center of mass, man.
Number two, despite the fact it's been spray painted, and that there's even spray paint on the feed ramp, we have had not one single issue with cycling or feeding. Not one single hang up. It's working.
You're on paper in a torso from 30 feet. Hey, man, I gotta call that self-defense.
I mean, this is a self-defense handgun.
I gotta call it self-defense.
If you need something and you don't have a lot of money, the High Point C9 so far has impressed me. Am I going to shoot it for fun like competition? Absolutely not. This is what it's made for. It's made for self-defense. I'm impressed. Initial thoughts. I like it. For $100, if you need something to defend yourself that's going to be reliable and you really don't have much else, this is all the gun store has, get it. This is worth it. You'll always find the High Point at every gun shop you go to. Except for Walmart because they stopped carrying handguns, but that's a different story. This has proven to me today that if I needed something and I didn't have anything to start off with and not much money in my pocket,
Hey, that's a hit.
this would be the handgun that I would go with. Guys, let's go wrap up this video today. Remember, if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Do you have a High Point C9? I'd love to hear from you. We will see you next time. I would never shoot you. Just know that.